Garbled words. Guy Christensen is a Mormon.
We've learned so much about
Wait,
interacting.
wait. This kid is a Mormon? This
Who?
idiot, this absolute imbecile is a Mormon.
Who?
This kid right here.
Oh, that dork who's been flipping out about Jews all the time.
Yeah, he's now on the front page of the New York Post after he celebrated the killing of the two wonderful people.
He did. Yeah, I saw one of those clips. I don't remember exactly what he was saying, but it was along the lines of but look what the Jews have done over there, so it's fair.
Baby-faced anti-Israel teen urges
Baby-faced.
his 1 million followers to support suspected DC terrorist in rant. So vile TikTok pulled it. Then doubles
Oh,
down.
so that's what happened. Yeah, I saw it on Twitter, and I went and looked for it on TikTok, and it wasn't there on TikTok. So I was wondering what happened. I thought he must have pulled it, but nope, they pulled it.
What a scumbag!
What a dork, man! Dude, this is what's amazing. It's like you got these young dorks. They just happen to grow up in a time where it's cool. This is the cool thing to do. And guys, the internet is for freaking ever.
You done messed
You're stuck with this. You guys haven't learned. I mean, what's called cancel culture got pretty idiotic. You're about to do something and people would bring up a tweet where you were mean to someone 10 years earlier and stuff like that. But you don't think that something like that is going to happen because you're saying way worse stuff than the stuff that's normally used to cancel someone when they said something on Twitter? I mean, you're actually supporting and calling on your followers to support a guy who just murdered two people just because they were coming out of a Jewish museum. And the woman was there. The woman was there for a panel on how to get more aid to Gaza. Huh? What a dork, man. This is what's creepy. I mean, dude, people are always confused. Like, how do you get enlightened Germans to become Nazis? You see it right in front of your faces, guys. See exactly how it happens.
Here you have it. So here's the front page of the New York Post. New York Post, which posted today, far left groups celebrate murder of Israel staffers in disgusting posts. And then you have here this guy's face right on top of everything on the front page, and it says devil worship. And and then you have further within the newspaper discussing the things that this guy this imbecile, this sick idiot has said. It's pretty messed up. Pretty messed up. Actually, I think the video is right here. Let's see. Oh yeah, let me look at this video here.
Yeah, watch it.
Let's see what this guy says. So here's why Elias Rodriguez's elimination of two Zionist embassy officials last night was an act of resistance in reaction to the genocide, not an anti-Semitic terrorist attack. And then he says Elias Rodriguez's act of resistance was justified.
I take it back. I do not condemn the elimination of those two Zionist officials who worked at the Israeli embassy last night, and here's why. Israel has live streamed a genocide to the entire world for the last 2 years, and I could talk to you for days.
You know what's very funny? The words he just used, Israel has live streamed a genocide. Now, Israel has not live streamed what they're doing in Gaza. You know who did live stream a genocide, though? Hamas and their other Gazan Palestinian friends on October 7, when they went into Israel and killed nearly 400 people at a music festival. Almost all of them were civilians. And then went on to continue killing and kidnapping and raping and murdering and mutilating and torturing people throughout Israel, amounting to over 1,200 on one day. They live streamed that. So if there is one genocide that has been live streamed, it was the attempted genocide by the Gazans or so-called Palestinians on October 7th.
For days about all the crimes, all the atrocities I reported on, and when I'm finished, you would still not know 1% of the Palestinian suffering. And you cannot expect to do such a thing in this world without the people standing up to fight to stop you in any way they can, to resist against you. And that is exactly what happened. Do not let yourself be fooled by the media, by the Zionists in this country who are telling you that this was an anti-Semitic terrorist attack. It was not. First of all, the man who was assassinated was a Christian Zionist.
What a filthy scumbag. He says it was not an anti-Semitic attack because the man who was killed was a Christian.
Yeah. So that may be the dumbest thing anyone in history has ever said. Guys, keep in mind, he just said this wasn't an anti-Semitic attack because the guy that the terrorists saw coming out of the Jewish museum turned out to be a Christian. So therefore, he wasn't intending to kill. What?
Who did he intend to kill?
Yeah. Did this guy target a Christian? Did he say, you know what, I'm going to go kill a Christian today? Or did he say, I'm going to go kill some Jews and I'm going to get some Jews who are walking out of this Jewish museum? What's the intent? He's saying the way things turned out to be, that implies what your intent was. And that's just stupid. Guys, listen. Yeah, he could have walked over there. He could have walked over there and said, I'm going to kill a bunch of Jews and killed a bunch of people who are, you could have had a bunch of Mormons who were visiting the place and walked out there. He sprays them all with gunfire and stuff like that. Well, it's not an anti-Semitic attack because they were Mormons.
He literally intended to kill Israeli
That's
Jews.
why he was there.
That's it.
Proclaiming it so on his social media. He spent his days working at the Israeli embassy, fighting to maintain Israel's genocide and support for that genocide.
Was he trying to maintain the genocide? Contrary to the bogus claims of the UN, there is enough food in Gaza for a long period of time if Hamas lets civilians have it. Confirming what we knew all along, Hamas embeds itself among Gaza's civilians. So he was actually saying that there is no such thing and that they are doing everything right. He wasn't saying I'm aiding the genocide. So
and support for that genocide in this country. He is a war criminal, and the same was true.
He's a war dude. How old is this guy? Is he even old enough to have a phone?
It's one thing to it's one thing to not know the meaning of the word genocide. Now they don't even know the basic terminology like war criminal and so on.
I sincerely hope, little guy, that you get in legal trouble because of what you're saying here. Because what you're doing here is you are inciting terrorism right now with this post. So I sincerely hope that the federal government cracks down and gets you in legal trouble. And then you go through a process of dealing with the consequences of the really, really vile stuff that you are pushing, so that you can maybe learn from them and become a better person.
I do have to say, I am impressed that he's standing his ground and leaving this up. You know what I mean? Like he's getting blasted from it, but it's still out. So it was removed from TikTok. It's still on his X page. So yeah, he does need to you're going to need to hire a Jewish lawyer to get you out of trouble on this one, buddy.
True for the woman. This was not because they were Jewish. It was because they were Zionists. And a manifesto.
What a stupid thing to say. He turned out to be a Christian, therefore it was not because they were Jewish. I mean, you could have just argued that it was because they were Israeli Zionists or something like that. Just because you brought in to it the fact that he was a Christian turns this into a ridiculously stupid argument.
From the suspect in custody, Elias Rodriguez, who apparently, if we are to believe this is true, he is part of the movement and he has consistently posted about Palestine. He targeted these two because of the connection to the state of Israel, because they are Zionists, not because they are Jews. I'm about to read you his manifesto, which he published.
So this guy thinks that it is okay to kill Israeli civilians. He also thinks, by the way, that it is okay to kill Zionists. Let's hear that again one more time.
He is a war criminal. And the same was true for the woman. This was not because they were Jewish, it was because they were Zionists. And a manifesto from the suspect in custody, Elias Rodriguez, who apparently, if we are to believe this is true, he is part of the movement and he has consistently posted about Palestine. He targeted these two because of their connection to the state of Israel, because they are Zionists, not because they are Jews. I'm about to read.
All right. The majority of Zionists are actually non-Israeli, non-Jewish people in the world. Do you know that? In fact, I am also a Zionist.
Yeah. Keep in mind, everyone, according to this dude, any random person who supports Palestine would be justified in going up and blowing AP's brains out.
And this will be
Because according to this dork, AP is a war criminal. By the way, just think about the reasoning here, right? If you imagine you were to say, hey, Hamas carried out a huge attack, killing over 1,000 people, men, women, and children, and took a bunch of hostages and so on. Therefore, anyone who supports Hamas or Palestinians in any way is guilty of a war crime and deserves death. That would mean you could just walk up and blow this kid's brains out. That reasoning. And yet somehow it wouldn't apply. It would only apply if you're, supporting Jews, and somehow. What a dork, man.
You see.
What a dork. What's crazy is you get I understand you're at that age where, hey, I'm really making a difference, and you think you know everything, and you think you're right, dude. Jack, you're programmed by the group that you're embedded in, and dude, I don't really care if anything legally happens to him right now, dude. You are doomed, because you're not going to be doing this the rest of your life. You're gonna have to do something with your life, and you're gonna be the guy. You're always going to be the guy who supports terrorists murdering people, just walking out of buildings in the United States of America.
What this guy is saying here is that everyone who is a supporter of the state of Israel is a legitimate target to be killed.
He just said that.
I have to point out the majority of Zionists here. This is a simple fact. The majority of Zionists in the world are not Israelis. The majority of Zionists in the world are not Jews, are not people from Israel. The majority of Zionists, the majority of people who support the state of Israel are, I would say the highest number is probably Christians, actually. So there are not even enough Jews around or enough Israelis around to be the majority of any of that. But there are the majority would be Christians, and then there are also other groups which also support Israel and are explicitly or clearly Zionist in their actions and all that. So there are probably hundreds and millions of Zionists in the world, aside from the tiny population of Jews or Israelis that are Zionists. So according to this guy, then everyone who is a Zionist is a legitimate target for terrorism and can be killed. This is a pure incitement to terrorism and killings, mass killings. Hope this guy gets in trouble. The Druze are also very Zionist. That's true. The Druze. Anyway, so this kid just got in big trouble by doing something stupid. Unfortunately, he's only 19 years old, as I just found out, although he looks 12. So, I don't know, man. I hope he can learn to stop being stupid.
Internet is forever.